What is this hair doing? It's like too short to go into the bobby pin, but not. It just.
I didn't authorize that.
You didn't. The timer went off. You didn't answer, so I just went live.
Oh, I thought you were just saying ready.
No. I had a question mark inflection on the end. Hopefully.
How many notes did you take?
Y'all can hear us. I took like 40 something, 42.
I took 35.
Yeah. We're doing swell. There was something I wanted to talk to you about before stream.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. That.
I was going to talk to you about what movies from the list you wanted to put up for a vote. Now I'm rustling around looking for my pencil. I might be with the actual notebook. Oh, hey, look, a pencil.
Just making a bunch of noise.
At least it wasn't during recording.
Yeah, true.
I mean, real recording, not YouTube people. I'm taking Toy Story 4 off there because we kind of accidentally watched that. This isn't the whole list, is it? I have to cross off Cars 3.
Oh, Lord.
There we go. This is scintillating content, I know.
Scintillating?
Is that not a word?
No.
Scintillating.
There you go.
Got it. I think there's also stuff I gotta add on here, like the new Avatar bullshit.
Oh, no.
Fire shit.
Oh.
Mario movie, the new one.
Yeah.
I don't think Wicked's on here.
Oh.
Is there anything else that came out recently? The new Dune? Is the new Dune out?
No.
Trying to think of like sequels and shit that we've got to catch up on. I did combine scintillating and tantalizing. They just smushed together in my brain. I have watermelon juice that I bought from a farmer's market like a bougie person. What?
Well, all of that's true.
Cars 3 was better than Cars 2. In fact, I told James this would almost be a perfect movie franchise. Cars 2 just didn't exist. Alright, I guess that's it. Guess that's it. We can watch Iron Lung again. Talk about it properly. Alright, you ready, babe? We got like 2 minutes. You ready? You ready? You ready? You warmed up? You here? I bought you 2 coffees today. Now wake up. It's out now on YouTube. You can see Iron Lung.
We just have to rent it.
Or buy it.
Or buy it.
It was released literally today, officially.
Yesterday, unofficially.
I can do that too. Alright, ready?
Do I have a choice?
No, because we're kind of here now.
Well, shit.
Alright, it's time. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. 3, 2. One. I really like that the audio is going to start right at the beginning and it's just you laughing and it gives me so much joy. Because I somehow made you mess up the 6-second delay. Hi.
That was pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm America. That's James. That was the coldest open we've ever done.
Oh, no. There's been colder, I'm sure of it.
And this is CityWavesCinema, and we're talking about Cars 3 for realsies this time.
There was a time many moons ago where we talked about Cars 3, but it was an April Fool's prank. And actually, we watched some other cats.
Yep, I was like, I'm not telling you this.
Cats.
Yeah, the audience never voted for cats, and so
I forced it upon all of you. It was my idea.
To prank everybody, because they originally voted for Cars 3. This is the second time that Cars 3 has won a vote.
That's true. It might be the only movie that's won a vote twice.
Historic. It'll be the historic movie. If we ever get famous and they do trivia someday, they'll be like, what episode or what movie is the only movie to have been voted on twice for CityWavesCinema?
Okay.
So
the movie, Cars 3. I need you to vamp for 2 seconds while I pull up the lore.
Oh, I've got to pull up my notes.
Oh, no.
I brought up the lore.
No, more lore.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I'm going deep.
First of all, I need to talk about this because before we get into the movie, before anybody starts talking about the plot or characters or ages, which is what I was going to start with, the Cars lore for this universe, first of all, I don't know who's writing it. I don't know how they're keeping track. I don't know whose job this is. But someone, somewhere, is keeping track of Piston Cup wins up until 2025. We know who wins every Piston Cup, how many wins they have of each race. The Cars lore is so freaking deep, and for why and who. I have so many questions. It's literally up to date. Like, this is a real universe, and there are real races being ran, and real cars are winning them. Like, it's just, why? No other Pixar movie has continuing lore that happens and updates yearly.
Wait.
What?
There's more.
No!
Who?
Simply no. No more. Why is the Cars universe so big?
Did Lightning not race in the next one?
Did he not race in the Piston Cup after 20 whatever? Oh
no, that was his last race, wasn't it? Hang on.
I have no idea. James literally was telling me who had the most wins. Because my big thing that I've never understood about Cars, and so James had to talk to me like a kindergartner about it, is Doc Hudson is super famous. Like, one of the most famous racers. It's talked about over and over again, and I kept not understanding why, because he only has 3 Piston Cups, and like the King has 7. I think Lightning, when he retires, has 7 Piston Cups. So why is Doc Hudson so fabulous and amazing and the best racer ever? So James, that's what started this whole downward spiral. It's because he has the most wins in a single season, and then we had to learn how many that was
38.
In comparison to other people, and how many wins he had total, and then it spiraled. There's a whole freaking, like, website dedicated to tracking who wins Piston Cups to 2025.
You know how old Lightning McQueen is?
No, but I really want to know, because the ages of Cars is my other big thing with this universe.
Cars. Lightning McQueen was born September 5th, 1983, making him 42 years old.
Oh, hey, he's a millennial. Looky there. Well, 83, actually, he's Gen X. He's a cusper.
What's funny is his model is a 2006 custom-built Piston Cup racer, so I don't understand what any of that means.
I have so many questions about this universe, guys. And the more I watch these movies, the more my child makes me ingest this whole entire universe, the more questions I have. And none of them have answers. How is Lizzie still alive in Cars 3, but Doc Hudson, and I know the actor passed away, but Doc Hudson is dead. Like, we don't know why, and I know, like, IRL it's because the actor passed away, but at least write something into the lore. Lizzie is still alive and running. I don't understand. Also, there are children cars. Why are there children cars? Do the cars reproduce? We don't know. Ugh.
Oh, and the reason Lightning even got in with Rusty's is because Mac overheard him get fired from his last sponsor.
Fucking what? Oh my god.
Okay. Lightning McQueen used to race for a sponsor called Smell Swell Deodorizer in the Junior Piston Cup circuit. He got fired. In favor of another young rookie racer named Sammy Smelter,
Mm-hmm.
who was a better fit according to the representative who fired McQueen. McQueen's performance was mainly due to strained working conditions and sleep deprivation, especially with his incompetent transporter. So Mac wasn't always his driver. Then Mac overheard him get fired and offered to take him to Boston to meet with the guys at Rusty's who were looking for race cars.
So how does Mac become his driver?
Mac literally hauled McQueen to the Rusty's guys because Mac worked for Rusty's.
Got it.
McQueen agreed to race for Rusty's as long as Mac would remain his transporter because he and Mac bonded over the trip from wherever the thing was to Boston.
Okay.
Then he had his rookie year, 2005. He had 7 wins and 23 top fives in his rookie season.
This is too much. Pixar, I need you to hear me. There's a lot of universes that need expanding and could use this much dedication. Why cars? Who has the car fetish at Pixar? I need to know. I have so many concerns. So many concerns. I just...
He almost won a Piston Cup in 2008, but lost because he had too many DNFs.
Can I have you switch gears really quickly?
You want to talk about Cars 3?
No.
Oh.
I just need you to turn the temperature up. I think it's set at 71.
Yeah, it's too cold. The child to sleep. Child needs particular.
He's like a reptile. You need his cage needs.
His enclosure needs to be heated.
Perfectly tempt. Not a degree higher, not a degree lower. Okay. So no, this is all I thought we were gonna have very little to talk about, but the more we dig into the Cars lore, the more there is to talk about. So maybe this first episode is just explaining why the world of Cars is actually insane. No, don't chuckle. What did you find out now?
Just look at your wrist. Wow, Lightning had 17 wins in the 2010 season. Oh no, I'm sorry. He had 20 wins. It was his best season. And then he raced one time in 2017 and then retired. I like how he... Okay, that's stupid.
Who? What? Wait, who?
Hang on. Lightning.
Okay, Lightning did what?
We'll get there. It'll be the end of the show. All right.
Okay.
It's about the end of his career.
Okay.
Which is at the end of the movie.
Okay.
So let's talk about the movie.
Oh, we're talking about the movie. Okay.
Welcome to... Hold on. I need you to do math. Cars 3.
Oh dear God.
No. We gotta put things in perspective now that we know more information. Born in 1983. Right?
Mm-hmm.
His rookie season's 2005. How old is he in 2005? What is that?
22.
22 years old. Rookie driver, 22 years old. His final season is 2017. That is 12 years later. So he's a geriatric racer at 34.
I had so many things about this movie before. With, like, them all going, Lightning's old, Lightning's a dinosaur now, you're gonna put you in the old folks' home. And now I find out he is
34.
2 years older than I am.
We got to get oiled all those joints that hasn't been there in
Now
a
I will
long
say,
time.
30's rough. 30's a rough time, but not put you in the old. I thought they were acting like he was like 50.
That's what I thought too. He's 34.
He is 34 years old, and all these people are like, "You're fucking finished. You're done."
I'll put it in hockey terms.
She made him drive 5 miles an hour
and take a nap. I'll put it in hockey terms. Most rookies in hockey are between 18 and 21 during their rookie season. But they can be even older. It just depends on when they break into the league. Most hockey players will retire in their early 30s.
I understand that,
but let's bear in mind, hockey is a contact sport.
I think you could consider racing in this universe a contact sport.
It's not supposed to be. Hockey is supposed to be.
We've seen 3 racers almost die.
I think we've seen one for real die.
It's
not clear what the physiology is.
It's like the ship of Theseus. How many parts do we replace of the car?
Is it still Lightning McQueen?
Oh my god.
What is the brain of Lightning McQueen? Cars 3.
Cars 3.
The threequel we didn't need, but was okay anyway.
I can't.
Are you alright?
No, this movie has changed. My entire thought process and perspective on this movie has changed.
Yeah.
Since I found out Lightning's 34.
There's a lot.
I took a note about it. Like, I understand, like, sports, typically you retire younger, but that still doesn't wait. Even, like, the old cars in, Doc's hometown are like, man, you're old now. You gotta accept it.
And they're all, like,
they're cars
models from the 20s and 40s and 50s, like,
okay, so
they're models of cars that experienced racism when it was happening in
the Cars universe, which is a thing that happened.
We have Cars civil rights, guys.
We had Cars 9/11, so.
Oh yeah, also true.
Okay.
All right.
So Lightning McQueen.
We start in the 2016 Piston Cup season. Lightning is a 5-time champion, I think. How many Piston Cups does he have?
Thought you said he had 7 last night. Does he go on to win 2 more?
Hold on. Now I'm all fucked up.
Here we go, back to the Cars lore. We made it 1 sentence. Anyways, we spend the opening in a really cool sequence. It made me feel like really happy, and it was really cool to see, which is how they wanted to make you feel before they kicked you. We see Lightning racing throughout the years with all of his friends, and they're the best buddies. They're having a great time, laughing, yucking it up. And then we get to the last race of that montage, and they all get beat by this car that comes out of nowhere named Jackson Storm. First of all, in this sequence, I have a couple things to talk about. If you see the description of this YouTube video and what I hope will be part of the description for the podcast later, it says that this is Cal Weathers' villain origin story, because the entire fucking sequence is just Cal getting shit on by his friends, by his sponsor, by everyone. And this will continue the whole movie.
Yes, it will. Lots of jokes at Cal's expense.
For no reason.
Yeah. So Lightning has 7 Piston Cup wins.
So does he go on to win 2, or is the Wikipedia wrong?
The Wikipedia's wrong. He has 7 wins. Is the 2016 season. He's just come off his 7th championship. And like you said, we spend that whole season in the opening montage watching Lightning race with his buddies, having a good time. In the end, Jackson Storm wins the cup. And it's like crazy. Lightning, everybody is like getting edged out. They're forcing the stock cars to retire, bringing in these new models that sound like Teslas a little bit, and they're all, upstart youths, blah 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 blah, right? And the secret, as we're taught by the statistician and Chick Hicks, is that these new racers are just training differently. They're training with simulators and AI, and they're learning how to just hold the best line for the entire race, and they can hold better max speeds or top speeds, and so it's effectively nullifying all the older racers, right?
So the new racers in this world would be the millennials then?
No, because it's 2017.
But assuming that they grow at like human years.
I don't know. Let's find out how old Jackson Storm is.
Oh dear God.
Jackson Storm was born in 91.
So Jackson Storm is a millennial.
I guess so.
And Lightning McQueen is Gen X.
34 currently.
It was just the way you were describing it, like
Jackson Storm is today, the day of recording in the year of our Lord 2026, the same age Lightning McQueen is in Cars 3. Run him out of the league.
Better retire.
Grandpa Car.
But no, just the way you were describing, like how they were talking about the new cars, or like with them being like tech savvy and all this stuff, and they have all this technology. It just sounds like how people talk about millennials.
By the way, Jackson Storm just won the Piston Cup in 2025.
How many wins he got? 3. How many wins? 3? Ah, come on, man.
Well,
Step up.
Listen, he had to deal with brandest newest upstart Cruz Ramirez,
coached by the current champ,
who was born in 93.
Oh, yeah. She's almost as old as I am.
And also some guy named Chase Race-A-Lot. I'm not even making that up. And also some guy named Tim Treadless.
Guys.
Ryan Laney and Paul Conrev.
Guys. Who's charting this shit? Who are you?
I don't know, but it's in the piston-cup.fandom.com website. We know too much. We know too much.
How much are you getting paid?
We have not buried them deep enough.
I need to know how much the person keeping track of the Piston Cups to date is making.
All right. Listen. Enough of that.
No, it'll come up again at some point.
Okay. We're in the Piston Cup race. And Jackson Storm has just been a prick to Lightning for like the whole season. Constantly being like, you old fuck.
It's not just him, though.
You old fuck.
He's also got Chick Hicks reporting on how he's ancient. He's got even like the announcers at the races talk about how he's fading and blah, blah. Like, everyone is talking about how Lightning's old as shit.
So then Lightning tries really, really, really hard and poops himself and crashes
really
bad.
The worst crash we've seen.
Over.
The worst crash we've seen in Cars. It was worse than Doc's. It was worse than the Kings. It's so bad.
Prematurely ends his season. It becomes his worst season on record. Storm wins the Piston Cup. Cut to 4 months later. He's in stock car primer, sad, sitting alone in Doc's old garage, watching film of Doc
crashing
race and crash. And he's just like, buh. He's just, buh. He's sad. It is, buh. And Sally comes in and is like, you smell bad. Fucking get over yourself and go race. And he's like, all right, I will. Fine.
Mater even comes in with a line about it. He's like, did you use your lawyerly powers of persuasion?
Yeah. So Lightning decides, all right, I'll keep racing. And so he gets Rusty and Dusty, the sponsors who own Rusty's, to let them know he's gonna race again and it's gonna be fine. And so they let him know on this big phone call in front of the whole town of Radiator Springs that they have this brand new big Rusty's racing facility somewhere vaguely near Florida, but not in Florida specifically because he has to leave from there to go to Florida.
True.
Anyways, he has to go there to train. So Mac picks him up and they head out. It is at this point 2 weeks until the start of the season.
He's somewhere in the Carolinas. And I only know that because we watched the movie again today. We showed it.
We're watching it against our will. Our toddler likes it.
Smokey has a line. He says that Doc was the best racer in either of the Carolinas.
Okay, so Smokey's in the Carolinas,
At least,
but Doc's the
Rusty's Racing Center.
Doc's gang operates out of Thomasville, which allegedly is in Georgia.
Okay, never mind then.
I don't know. Maybe Doc's from the Carolinas.
Maybe.
And Smokey's from Georgia. Who knows? It doesn't matter. What matters is
I was just trying to help out.
What matters is he has to go to the training facility.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first strike against this movie. The road trip song is just okay.
James is mad that the soundtrack doesn't slap as well as the other two Cars movies. Cars 1 being first, Cars 2
yes.
being second.
A distant second. Cars 1 has a great soundtrack front to back. All of it fits. All of it suits every scene. Even if you don't like the songs, it fits correctly, and it's awesome.
I do like the first song in Cars 3, the Run That Race one. I think that one's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's really hard to beat Real Gone by Sheryl Crow as your opening race song.
True.
That's so sick. So Mac and Lightning cruise across the country and they get to wherever the training facility is, and they find out from Rusty and Dusty that they sold the brand Rusty's to wealthy business car Sterling. Sterling, played by Nathan Fillion here, who plays smarmy business guy super good. Sterling is also a little bit of an obsessive fanboy about Lightning McQueen.
And Doc Hudson. I called it the minute we saw it, and I just want to say it, put it on the record. The minute I saw Sterling, I was like, I don't like him. And James was like, I hope we can like him. And I was like, I don't like him. I was correct.
Spoilers.
You already called him a smarmy businessman.
Yeah. So Sterling assigns Lightning to be trained pre-season by Cruz Ramirez, who is this hotshot new...
She's the best.
The maestro of motivation, he calls her. So
he also says she's the best racing trainer there is.
Yeah, which I kind of don't doubt. Cruz is a master not only of mental games and fortitude, but she's got a fitness regimen and she's training 3 different race cars who are all stylized like the new modern racers.
They're rookies. They haven't raced yet.
They will be rookies when they do get raced.
Yes.
But they're all training to try and be better than Lightning so that they can race for Rusty's. That's literally how it works, I guess. So Cruz calls him her senior project because he's old now, 34. And thusly, they really namby-pamby his training at first. Like, he's not racing and he hates it.
She puts like a speed cap on him. He can only drive 5 miles per hour
on the treadmills. He wants to race in the simulator and he's just not getting the opportunity to. She's making him do stretches and do oil shifts and all this stuff.
He has to name his tires.
His name is Tires, which he goes righty, lefty, backy, and Becky Jr., which is very funny.
It was a really solid like moment for Owen Wilson. Like the delivery of that was great.
Lightning McQueen has a character regression at the start of this movie in which he circles back to his original functionality from Cars 1, which is deeply self-centered fuck ass.
I wouldn't say it's just this one though. Like in every movie, the movie doesn't happen unless Lightning McQueen is an absolute ass.
No, Cars 2 could. In Cars 2, the movie happens because Mater, and Lightning comes to Mater's defense twice, and then gives him several outs to stop being a dipshit on the radio. Mater reduces to the intelligence of a baby, an infant, does not get off the radio, does cause Lightning to lose the race. Lightning blows up immediately after the race, feels regret about it, understands he's done wrong, has an emotional maturity he doesn't have in the first movie. Honestly, we should have done a fucking show about Cars 2, because that movie is not good, but it is sneakily better than people say. Anyways, he reverts himself back to Cars 1 pre-Radiator Springs Lightning. Impatient, a little arrogant, and he feels owed a level of respect due to his accolades, which is understandable. Not saying it's right or wrong, but it's understandable. What he does not accept from the jump is that you do age and you do have to operate differently as you age if you are an athlete. And he is an athlete, and he has to operate differently as he's aging, especially given a whole season where he got his shit kicked in by younger racers who are simply in better form. So, taking no lessons from a season of getting his ass beat, he comes into this season and he's like, I know how I'll train, moron. I'm gonna go drive on sand really hard until I'm fast. Did that keep you faster than Jackson Storm last season, Lightning McQueen? You trained exactly like that last year. Like, he becomes stupid.
Can I just point out?
No, yes.
That these are cars.
Yes.
And certain models of cars are built with max speeds that sometimes, as newer cars come about, get surpassed by cars that have, like, higher max speeds because there's new engines and all that stuff. So it's physically impossible for Lightning to get faster.
Not necessarily. I direct you to Cars 2, when the American spy says he can replace an engine block, indicating that most, if not all, internal components of these cars can and will be replaced.
Which we saw during Cars 2 because of axle rod.
Right, which begs the Theseus question.
Jesus Christ.
As you say. It's the ship of Theseus. They could
just replace
his engine.
And he would be as fast as all the other cars.
And so what you're pressing on here is a dangerous line of thinking that takes you towards how much of the car in Cars is limited by quote unquote muscles or physical form and aging.
Biology.
Yes, biology. And how much is it limited by mechanical function? Because the ship of Theseus, if you take Lightning's engine and you take everything out of him and put in all replacement parts, is he still Lightning McQueen?
Where does the soul of the car live? That's the real question that we need to get to.
In the eyeballs, except for the one demon car from Cars 2, where the eyeballs are in her titties. Now, lights.
I have had so many so much watermelon juice. I'm gonna need you to not make me laugh so much.
Okay.
Be less funny.
No. So, Cruz is just trying to get Lightning to fucking work his way up. She's not even saying you can't train the way you were. She's saying we have to work you up to the training you want to do. So he simply doesn't like that. Bearing in mind, to this point, the only gang he has brought with him are Luigi and Guido, who, now, to be fair, they are his tire supplier.
Yes.
So, like, that makes sense that they would come along. But he treats them as his training staff, which is no.
Also, like, we went to the world race and we brought Fillmore and Sarge and Mater.
Fillmore, Sarge, Mater,
Guido,
Ramon.
and no, Ramon stayed home.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
It was Guido, Luigi, Sarge, and Fillmore, because Sarge and Fillmore are his gas suppliers.
Yeah, they're the fuel guys. So where's... But I guess it's the... I don't know.
It just seems weird to just bring Guido and Luigi.
Listen, the universe is complex. So... Okay, listen. When Lightning first got there to the racing facility, he saw Cruz on the simulator, just sort of putting in a workout, right? And she's like topping out at 198. She's going fast as fuck, okay?
Not her max speed.
No, but he wants to do that. I think he's topping out at like 196 is what he's racing at. And Jackson Storm's racing at like 210.
Yeah, I think that's what he hits.
Some stupid shit like that. So eventually, through all the modern training that Lightning just like is too egotistical to trust and race in, he forces his way onto the simulator. Sterling sees him, and Sterling is not a trainer. Sterling has not been paying close attention to what's going on. But from his upstairs office, he sees Lightning McQueen on the simulator. And so over some God speaker intercom, speaks to the whole facility, and he's like, "Is that my star racer on the simulator?" And Lightning's like, "Yes, it is, boss."
And Cruz is like,
Cruz is like, "Could you please just not? Please."
She's like, "You're not ready. You don't understand.
Please just don't." And Lightning's like, "I'm gonna do it." And Sterling's like, "He's gonna do it." And Cruz is like, "Well, this should be a gun show. Or a gung show. Gong show. Fuck me."
It's been a long day.
So they fire the simulator up. Lightning, simply not ready for it. Crashing into shit, bouncing around. This simulator, way too in-depth, by the way. There's so much it's super funny, and it's super, like, very kids movie oriented. But he's, like, crashing into cars.
You have hit an ambulance.
You have maimed a civilian. You are flying. You are on fire. Like, all this shit. It's super fucking funny. And then he is screaming to get him out of the simulator, and
he pulls himself out.
Cruz is like, "Just stop. Just stop." And he won't. And then he rips the restraints off of his back tires without stopping accelerating and rockets off the fucking platform and plows directly into the screen.
Screen goes,
shattering the multi-million-dollar simulator they had installed,
and causing an entire outage for the entire training facility. It's a very expensive mistake.
Yes, and it's Lightning's fault. It is not Cruz's fault.
And the simulator just goes, "You have crashed. You have crashed."
So Sterling has a meeting with Cruz. You can't really hear very much of it.
Tears her a new one.
She comes out and goes, "Good luck." Lightning goes in there. Sterling tries to force Lightning to retire. By
way of merchandising.
Yep. Lightning is not about it. He argues about the ethos of racing and what that's supposed to look and feel like. And Sterling's just like, hoity-toity businessman. And then he makes a bet. That's a stupid idea. Lightning says that if he wins the first race of the season, the Florida 500, he gets to decide if he keeps racing. And if he doesn't win, I mean win, not a top 10 finish, not a top 5 finish, win.
He has to beat Storm.
If he doesn't win the race, he will retire immediately and sell mud flaps for Sterling, because Sterling is the mud flap king of the Eastern Seaboard. Sterling reluctantly accepts this deal. This is a house money bet for Sterling.
He's a fanboy, though, first.
Listen, McQueen is an idiot for making the bet. There's 36 racers, I think, in these races.
47.
Okay.
I'm speed. One winner.
42 losers.
42 losers.
So 43 cars. So 43 cars that are going to race, right? And you made a bet after a season of getting your ass beat and destroying part of your new training era that you're going to win against guys who've been training for months. Moron. Ego. Arrogance. Cars 1 Lightning McQueen all over again. Sterling takes the bet because fucking duh. So the condition for Lightning that Sterling insists on is that Lightning has to continue training with Cruz. So then he's like, fine. So Cruz's training methods, deemed by Lightning to be unconventional, frustrate Lightning as they try to figure out his new max speed on the beach outside the training arena, right?
Well, it's more that Cruz... I don't think she was faking it. I don't think she knew how to drive on the beach.
Well, yeah, Cruz doesn't know how to drive on sand, but that's when would she have ever had to drive on dirt?
So
when Lightning, through to his race in Radiator Springs against Doc, never raced on dirt. Never even drove on dirt.
I know. I'm just saying you were like he's like getting frustrated at her training, and she was getting frustrated at her training before. Now he's just frustrated that he has to keep
teaching her how to drive.
Teaching her how to drive so that she can keep up with him to tell him what his max speed is.
Yeah. So this part of Lightning's training is literally Lightning McQueen on packed sand at a beach drag racing himself, trying to hit max speeds, okay? This is dumbassery. But, you know, Guido and Luigi are tire salesmen. They're not fucking trainers, so they're just like, yeah, I get it. This is how he does it, I guess. So they spent a whole day trying to record a top speed. Eventually, Cruz is able to keep up with him, and his top speed's like 196, 197, something like that. And he's like, no, brah, 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 we wasted a day. You can't drive, you're bad. And so he's like, I need to race against real racers. Now, he's leaving the beach, and he sees a sign that points to a old dirt track that Doc used to race on called Thunder Hollow. And so they head over there to race against real racers, right? Lightning has no idea what the fuck he's doing. And he goes over to Thunder Hollow, where the dirt track has been turned into a figure 8 for a demolition derby called the Crazy 8.
Can we talk about how Cruz has all this tech? She has Harv built into her system to help with shit, and not one single Google was done by Cruz to see where they were going?
I don't know if they have the internet.
I was really trying to search from some Cars 2 scene to prove that internet exists in this world. We know FaceTime does.
We know computers do.
So internet would exist, right?
One could theorize, but we've never seen it. There's a wrinkle. There's a wrinkle in your whole thesis at the moment. Anyways, they muck McQueen up so that he's unrecognizable, and they volunteer to race in the Crazy 8 race, okay? Not knowing what it is. They get locked into the track by the guy who runs the race, and it turns out to be a demolition derby. Last car standing wins. Lightning, through trying to make sure Cruz doesn't get fucking killed on this mud figure eight track, accidentally disables the champion of the previous demolition derby races here, who is a school bus
named Miss Fritter.
And Cruz wins the race due to not being killed. Then a water tanker overturns and accidentally washes all the water off of McQueen, revealing him to be him. And it's an embarrassing moment for the guy. Yes, America.
Okay, before we head to Dockstown, because we're probably going to wrap up there with the demolition derby, mainly because if I don't go to the bathroom, I'm going to die. Wi-Fi does exist in the Cars universe, because in Tales from Radiator Springs, there's an episode appropriately titled Wi-Fi, in which the town installs a Wi-Fi service to make things easier for visiting tourists. So there.
And that's canon, so yeah, they've got the internet. All right. Lightning gets mad because Cruz won the demolition derby race. And they gave Cruz a trophy. And Cruz is like a little kid on Christmas. So stoked. So Lightning has a evil monologue screaming at her about how she doesn't know what it is to be a real racer, and he breaks her trophy. Cruz insists that Mac pulls over, and she drives out and reveals her genuinely awfully tragic backstory, which is that her family told her to dream small,
or don't dream at all,
because you might not get to be a race car like you want to, so don't even try. What a fucking tragedy. Okay, it's not even like a realistic one where it's like, you know what, we'll give it our all, but it might not work out. It's like, it probably won't, so fuck you. Crazy behavior out of Cruz's family. So she gets to her first race that she's gonna do as a kid, right? And she gets there and doesn't race. She bails. She freezes up and abandons it. She just runs off from it. She's too afraid that she will fail. Like, she grew up watching Lightning race, so she's idolized him this whole time, right? So she resigns as Lightning's trainer and heads back to the racing center. Now, Lightning and Mac hole up under an overpass, and Lightning, feeling shame for the first time this movie, FaceTimes Mater and goes, "What would you do, buddy?" And Mater's like, "Sure wish you still had Doc Hudson. He could have taught you, and the only person who could have taught you more is the guy who taught him." And Lightning goes, "Oh, fuck, duh, Doc's mentor, Smokey." And so Lightning and Mac go to pick up Cruz on the road. He does a sad little shimmy shake dance to try and recruit her back to be his trainer, and they go to Thomasville, where Smokey may or may not live, and that is where we will stop before America pees her pants.
Okay, do you know how to do the vote?
No.
Okay, move. I'll set it up for you. All you'll have to do is plug in the movies. Okay. I'm thinking...
You're a fluffy cloud.
I'm gonna kill you all.
Cloud.
I'm thinking... this one. Maybe this one. You wanted to watch this one.
Did I?
Yes.
What the hell is that?
It's the other Wizard of Oz movie.
Who's in that?
Franco.
Oh,
James Franco.
okay.
And Mila Kunis. Um, do that one because it's good content. And we'll put one actually enjoyable one in there. That one. Right here. Oh, at the top, type next movie. And then you can hit start.
What if I change all the movie names to some other shit and then we have to watch something that I want to watch? Ha ha ha. Just kidding. I hope it posts. All right. Good luck, fellas. No, I wouldn't do that. That'd be mean.
Now that I know you know how to do. Mm-hmm.
I need to remember to change the editing method for the episodes now.
Because you did all the stuff with the mic?
Yep.
Mm. Yes! Oh, we get to watch Wicked! I'm very excited.
Whoa.
Very excited. Very excited.
Looking at a 4-2 split. Well, you fuckers wanted content. That'll give you. That'll give you content. Woof.
I noticed that we started getting the alert again. So I was like, cool off the PC. Cool it off. You missed it by just a hair. Just the teeniest, tiniest hair. Baby. Baby. My child is obsessed with babies right now and will talk about them nonstop if he sees one. Alright.
Wicked Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. The worst part of Wicked. I can't wait to fucking shit all over it for being the second part and being so bad at storytelling.
What's funny is, like, anyone who's a long-term fan of Wicked is very aware that the second act of Wicked is not great.
So why do they just trip over themselves to suck it off? The musical in general.
Oh, because the first act's really great.
Well, the first act's okay. First act's okay. If the second act is, by your definition, okay, woof. Woof. I can only imagine it's straying into Cat's territory in the back half. Do some people tell me this?
James also knows nothing about Wicked, so
When people go to see Wicked on the Ferrell, the Italian theater,
it was more like Hamlet, but
do they go for the first half and then at intermission leave and not come back? Like when the actors come out on stage, is there more empty seats because the back half's bad?
I wouldn't be surprised if there were like some really hardcore people who did that, but no, if you pay that much money for a theater ticket, you're gonna hang out for the entire time. But it would not surprise me if some people were like, yeah, no, I'm just going to go see the first part. Especially if you're going to go see like a certain person perform it and you've already seen Wicked a bunch, but you just want to go see like this person's run of it.
Dude, that's so rough if all the good songs are in the front half. That sucks. What do you mean,
Other than For Good.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking.
Don't think too hard now. Uh-oh.
And I'm including the new songs that they added. I can't think of a single other song that is good in part 2.
Oh, no.
There's For Good, and that's excellent. It's an excellent song.
You're not presenting a winning case here.
I like the musical. I like the musical as a whole. I don't like sitting through 2 equal parts of said musical.
Well, clearly they're not equal parts.
No, I mean lengthwise.
Oh.
I think, and some...
Is this a musical could have been an email situation?
It's a musical that, if done correctly, you could have done like a longer movie. I'm not saying make it shorter, because that's where a lot of people get mad at film to musical adaptations, is that they leave a lot out. I'm just saying, We know that people watch it because Hamilton put their shit on Disney. And everyone watched that, so we know the length is not the issue. So maybe just make it one movie.
Also, maybe write good songs for the second half. And don't write a shit story. We'll get there.
Yeah, that's all for next time. That's your preview.
Hooray. A sneak preview to the same shit we're gonna rinse and repeat when we watch Wicked 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Wicked for good, James.
Oh, man. I give just an infinite amount of fucks.
Alrighty. You ready to talk about cars again?
Yeah.
I again say that this, if we had done this, I talked about this when we watched it. If we had done this movie when we were originally supposed to, we would probably not have enjoyed it as much because we would have been younger. And this is very much like a you're getting aged out kind of movie, which apparently is in your 30s, so good to know. And the other thing is, because we have now consumed the Cars movies
against our will
many times, and we read Cars books a lot, and someday we will convince our child to let us finish Cars on the Road so I can find out why Mater's sister's a millionaire.
That's a surprise.
I think doing this movie now was perfect because we just have so much more knowledge to talk about because we have now watched the Cars movie so much. All right. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
3, 2. Hello, everybody. This is part 2, CityWavesCinema. I'm America. That's James. We're talking about Cars 3.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
High society assaulted you just there.
Hello.
No, you know what? Chris Collins assaulted you right then and there. Videos that you fall asleep to at night. YouTube that plagues my REM sleep as it plays while I try to snooze. Just hello. She hits you with a hello every time. Every time.
I don't think her name is Collins anymore because she got married.
Fuck, that's the fucking.
And I think she did decide to take his name.
Let's call me Chris. That's shouts out. She's hilarious. Anyways,
Cars 3.
I'm gonna edit all this out.
No, you are not. You
No,
don't. That's
No,
so
no,
much work that you don't want to do.
It really is. Okay.
Cars 3. Where we left off was
Thomasville. So, Cruz and Lightning have made up. Hooray. They head to Thomasville to try and find Doc Hudson's legendary mentor, Smokey. No last name.
Lightning doesn't know if he's still there.
Lightning doesn't know if he's alive.
Yeah.
They rock up to an old track that Doc used to race on. I don't remember what it's called.
That was so loud, I'm sorry.
Heavens. Don't remember what it's called.
Isn't it...
It's just a dirt track in Thomasville.
It has a name.
I know it does, but I didn't write it down. So...
I do have something to say.
Alright, we'll say it.
Smokey, when they walk up to the old track, because Lightning starts to want to race on Doc's old track, right? And they run into Smokey while they're there. Smokey has a line that he says that is, I was beginning to wonder if I was ever going to meet you. And my big issue with this movie, like my biggest plot issue, is you mean to tell me that Lightning McQueen was mentored and idolized Doc Hudson his entire life and never went back to Doc's hometown, especially after he passed, to like see the old stomping grounds, see if anyone met him. There was no funeral for Doc where like his old friends came.
Well, Doc went no contact until he wasn't. You remember that whole sequence that we're going to talk about in a minute where Smokey talks about what happened?
he started writing him after he was Lightning's mentor.
Yeah.
And Lightning knew that Doc had a mentor.
Uh-huh.
And he's seen the old footage. So how did Lightning never, after Doc passed, go, I really miss Doc. I'm going to go see, like, where he grew up, all this stuff like a normal person would do.
Because Lightning had this thing called the Piston Cup Racing Series that he had to go do all the time.
He gets off time every season. You want to know how I know? Because Cars 2 exists in the off season.
Couple of months. You know what? I don't know. And they didn't write it because you know what the movie is? For children. So they go to Thomasville and Lightning and Cruz do a lap on the dirt track that Doc used to race on. And Lightning has to stop short before he kills himself on Smokey's front end. And Smokey takes Lightning and Cruz to his bar. And the occupants of this bar in the middle of potentially Georgia are just cranky, ancient race cars. So Smokey tells Lightning that basically, even though Lightning never raced again, or even though, Doc never raced again, he found a new level of happiness and joy in training and mentoring Lightning. In fact, he had never seen Doc so happy except for when he was training and mentoring Lightning. So Lightning has a little epiphany where he goes, "Oh, shit. Maybe I need to find joy in the stuff again. And then maybe think about what I'm going to do after this stuff." And so Smokey and Doc's old friends, Louise Nash, Piston Cup winner, River Scott, Piston Cup winner, and Junior Moon, Piston Cup winner, help him to learn some new tricks of the trade in order to beat Jackson Storm because, frankly, Jackson Storm races too fast for Lightning to keep up with.
But all those cars have had the experience of having rookies come up, especially Doc. So there's ways to be smarter and not have to race harder.
Yes, you don't have to be the fastest car out there. You have to be the best racer, which means sometimes you have to be the smartest, which is sort of like that's a blanket lesson that gets applied to a lot of movie scripts over time is like your hero encounters a skill deficit due to age or whatever and has to be reminded that in order to be the victor, you do not always have to force yourself to be the highest skill at that one skill. You have to supplement it with other things. Really standard storytelling. So they go and do a bunch of moonshine racing tricks, which is a beautiful nod to the origins of NASCAR. By the way, in case it was unclear, NASCAR's origins in redneck country, bearing in mind I'm not a fan of racing or NASCAR, NASCAR's origins are in the fuck the government orientation. And they lightly, very lightly touch on that by alluding to the fact that they used to run moonshine before they raced in this movie. What?
It's just ironic.
It is. So they learn some. They sharpen his instincts. They sharpen his ability to understand and seize windows of opportunity.
His reflexes.
And what's happening is a large parallel that is very clearly being drawn to Cruz is also experiencing all the same training. She's doing all the same things Lightning is doing, okay? So the barometer for this training with Smokey and the gang is a 3-lap race that Lightning and Cruz have to do a few times. They paint up Cruz to have Storm's name on her back and number on the side, and they give her, I think, a half a lap advantage. And Lightning and Cruz start at the same time, and Lightning has 3 laps to catch and pass Cruz. And finally, like last possible second, last day they can do this race, Lightning catches Cruz during the final practice race and overtakes Cruz, and it's awesome. However, immediately after that, Cruz overtakes Lightning, and Lightning then has a like war flashback to being passed by Jackson Storm before his big wreck, and immediately like forgets all his training. He like reverts instantly. It's very funny, but also like not. It's kind of horrifying. So then they have to leave and they have to go back to Florida so that they can go to the Florida 500 and start the season. So Lightning is to start at the back of the pack because it was finished last season. But he manages to move up positions through the race.
He's not on his game though. Like
No.
he even at the start of the race, like he's trying to do his mantra and he's just like not. He's like, I am speed ? Like, so he's having a rough time.
He's out of his mind a little bit. Smokey is his crew chief, which is cool. And Smokey helps him work his way up into like the top 10, I think. And then Sterling shows up in the pits and is like, what the fuck is Cruz doing here? You look like an idiot. Get the fuck out of here. Go train the racers, fuck ass.
You're not a racer, you're a trainer. Like, really
Yeah.
just nailing it home.
Listen,
It's
it's a kid's movie. Everything is. I'm going to talk about a lot about the storytelling when we get through the plot, but it's a remember it in your brain. It's a kid's movie, and it's rated G somehow. Cars 2 got to be PG because it has guns in it.
no way.
I bet you.
No, I think they're all G. You can't
There's no way Cars 2 is
you
PG.
can't put a PG movie on Disney Junior.
I need you to look it up.
Okay.
Because I cannot believe that the amount of violence that occurs in
I know,
Cars 2.
I talked to my grandmother about it. She's like, "You're gonna let him watch that?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's G."
It's crazy. So Lightning can hear this entire exchange, wild, between Sterling and Cruz, over the radio, and he flashes back to Cruz's racing dream being crushed, and right as this happens, accident occurs on the track. A huge pile up, and Lightning zip zooms his way through it. Which, if we're being honest, that has always been his like best attribute in racing is his ability to avoid any and all contact in the race. That's why he was able to keep up with the King and Chick Hicks in Cars 1. That's why he struggled in the last race, is because there wasn't. I mean, he won, kind of, morally. But
that's why he also doesn't get touched during the demolition derby, too.
Yeah, he's just very, very good at that. So he does all this shit and comes in for a pit stop. And we're going to spend a lot of time in this pit stop that we shouldn't be spending. This is where suspension of disbelief must occur, okay? We go to the pit stop, and coming into that, Lightning has been screaming at Smokey to get Cruz back. To the point that Cruz, who is like leaving,
like at a stoplight,
turns it around and comes on back. And she's like, what the hell's going on? And Guido comes out to change Lightning's tires, and he goes, no, not me, her. And everyone's like, what? And Sterling's like, why the fuck are you here? What? And then Smokey's like, the rules, it's just gotta be the number.
So they have Ramon.
Ramon does a speed paint job and
speed. He's like, this is
coats her up with the number 95 on her sides, and I think Cruz on her back. I don't remember. And gets her all tagged up. And then
Makes a point of going with this with this fast. This is the best I could do. It's freaking gorgeous.
they get the tires on her. Mater runs interference on Sterling the whole time, just applying perfect Materisms to it.
I will say it was really nice to see this movie and see Mater back to like who Mater is supposed to be versus the absolute atrocity on his character that they did in Cars 2. Like, it was just nice to have like the Mater that we fell in love with, who's funny, not necessarily the brightest bulb, but not
Clever in all the right ways.
Yeah.
So they get Cruz out there. She's to beat the pace car out. And she does. It's very callback to the first movie. Beats the pace car out.
This movie likes to do that a lot.
And she races like shit. She races like shit. Smokey's trying to talk her through it, and it's not working. So Lightning starts just using all the same mantras and shit that she was training him and the other racers with to try and like coax her to figure it out. And eventually, Smokey just gives Lightning the headset.
It's because he won't say that you're a fluffy cloud.
Yeah. So Lightning gets on the horn and becomes the crew chief. Cruz is overtaking opponents left and right with the coaching. She ends up behind Jackson Storm and is just she's just dragging right in his ass. And Jackson's pit crew is talking to him, and they're like, "Who the fuck is this lady?" And he's like, "Where? Oh, there's a moment, a pivotal moment. I'm sorry, I need to go back like a lap or two. There's a pivotal moment while Cruz is working her way up the ranks, where she is really starting to climb.
She's third.
And Storm slows down, gives up pole position to come back and bully her a little bit before speeding back up, getting back on his line, and overtaking and going back to first. And Lightning, I really like this part of the storytelling because it's like, yeah, this isn't an adult concept really, but like, this is pretty smart to put in a kid's movie. Lightning's like, listen, that was a really good interaction. Do you know why? And Cruz is like, no, he's in my head. He's in my head. I'm not a racer. Wah. And he's like, no, you're in his head. You're not trapped in there with him. He's trapped in there with you.
He wouldn't have come back to talk to you if he didn't think that you were a threat.
He's worried about you. He went from first to tie for third right now just to talk to you and make you feel like shit. That wasn't a power move. He's nervous. So she takes that and goes, ah, and then gets up in his ass and starts bullying him back, which is very funny. Then she makes her move to take the lead, and he goes, you don't belong on this track, and smashes right into her side and tries to grind her up against the wall, which is because she's taking him off his line and shit. And she goes, yes, I do. Now, we skipped a piece from the round table with the old race cars back at the bar in Georgia, which was one of Doc Hudson's super extra epic moves to beat a young upstart rookie. In that, the rookie tried to take him to the wall. Doc plants two wheels up on the wall in this weird stretch, drives up the wall a little bit, up the catch fence a little bit, and barrel rolls out, flipping over the rookie, landing on his wheels, tearing off, and winning his race. Cruz will replicate that move, picture perfect, winning the race. Hooray. Hooray, hooray, incredible. Everyone's so stoked. Cruz is celebrating the victory. Sterling comes over and he's like, Cruz, you want to race for Rusty's? I want you to be my starting racer. And she's like, oh, I don't think I could have a race for you.
Also,
I quit. And Tex, who you may recall is the owner of Dynaco,
And like loves lightning. BFFs.
loves lightning, comes over and he's like, well, how about you race for me over at Dynaco? As you know, we've got a long line of very prestigious racers. The king is behind him.
Except
for
Cal.
And Cal's like, guys, I'm here.
Poor Cal. The entire movie is just getting shit on by everyone.
Hey, he pranks lightning pretty good.
He does, but no one shits. His own sponsors like lightning. If you ever want to race for Dynaco, Cal's out. You're in. Like, Jesus.
It's pretty vicious. So Cruz contemplates racing for Dynaco. We're back.
I don't understand why this is happening.
Because our internet service provider is fucking ass.
Maybe we need to call them again, because this can't keep happening.
Every service provider does this. They throttle everyone at night. When everyone's back home, everyone gets throttled.
Yeah, no, we know it's messing up. I just don't know. I don't know why it's happening all of a sudden. We never used to have these issues. Gonna give it a second. Still burning freaking 1,000,000 degrees. No, it's down. Makes sense. Okay. We're gonna try to keep going. Fingers crossed, everyone. Alright, gather yourself. Do you remember what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Going back in 3, 2.
Because Lightning and Cruz were both wearing the same number, they both get a win attributed to them. So Lightning technically has won the race. And therefore, as Sally puts it, because she's a part of the movie, again, by the way.
She's his lawyer.
She is his lawyer. He does not have to stop racing and go sell a bunch of shit. Sort of buying his way out of his promise to Sterling from the get-go. But also he won, so like, yeah, of course. So then Tex like dog walks Sterling. Just straight was like, how's about you and me go have a chat? Billionaire to billionaire. Yeah. And it's like, all right, that something's gonna happen because of that, I'm sure of it. And in the end, it's revealed that Tex bought Rusty's from Sterling and just sort of folded. Like now he just owns 2 racing teams or 2 companies, and he just owns both companies, which is fine. He's a big racing fan anyway, so that's great. And so Cruz will get to race for Dynaco. And Lightning retires, basically.
Kind of. I think it's implied that if he wants to keep racing, he can, but it's not going to be like his full-time thing because he wants to coach Cruz.
Now, I will say this. If you were to go read the plot of this movie from Wikipedia, it says Lightning chooses to continue to race and will continue racing, but first he's going to train Cruz for the rest of the season. What we know from the Cars lore wiki is that he does not race again. That was his last race and he won it. And he effectively retires, even though he doesn't have to. He retires to coach Cruz for Dynaco. He basically gets hired by Dynaco, and he dons Doc's old racing colors to honor his memory and legacy instead of going to his hometown and shit. And that's the end of the movie. Now, let's talk very briefly about storytelling and children's movies and an issue with Netflix.
Just keep it Netflix really quickly. What is happening?
I don't know. I can't see the whole fucking thing.
What is it seeing?
Full screen that.
Oh, we're not live. Hit live.
Yeah, it's being stupid.
Okay.
I hate this.
I can't
I hate
change
this
it.
setup. I know.
I wish that I could get rid of that, but it wants you to basically run just off of the YouTube studio
Yeah.
and not.
What we don't what I don't think is any helpful to us is the analytics being up.
I like watching the views.
I think this is what we need to see.
I mean, I get the alerts if stream is anything less than excellent, but
We need a third monitor.
Christ.
We need one more desk in this room
Okay.
and another monitor.
You can just leave it there. I just like to see how many people are watching. And they took away my little sidebar that used to tell me that.
It is very dumb.
Yeah, I don't like the update to YouTube Studio, but I digress. Netflix is what you were talking about, or about to.
Yeah. All right.
I have the stream running on my phone. I just got an alert that said it was down again. All right, Netflix. You ready? 3, 2.
Netflix has this mandate. I don't know if it's as old as 2017 when this movie came out, but the mandate is that anything they produce or put out has to be simple enough that you can pay attention to it and understand what is happening without ever looking at the screen.
It's the second screen, yeah.
Because they assume, and this is a problem that they're assuming it, but also indicative of the times, that whoever is watching their streaming service is also glued to their cell phone shopping or looking at social media or whatever, right? So when they produce stuff, it is required that characters state obvious and clear plot points and vocally say what they are doing while it is happening on screen so that the people who are not watching the movie can do their second screen viewing.
Absorb the content.
This is, and I do not believe I'm understating this at all, the gateway to the death of movies across the board because every streaming service is doing it. Okay? It was all fun and games when we had Stranger Things and we had fun little shows that streaming services were producing. Ha 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 ha. All the HBO movies, great. Wow, super fun. Hooray. It is the end of long form content because you fucking drones can't watch a movie and pay attention to it. Go to the fucking theater and try.
I was like, you're one of the worst, like, second screen viewers that I know.
TV. Can't abide by watching television, but I've always couldn't abide by watching television.
Even with movies, though, you're pulling up IMDb, you're reading the trivia, you're looking through everything.
Yeah, but I'll hold it up so I can see what's happening at the same time.
I'm just saying. Just saying. He doth protest too much. I will say, though, he is able to go to a movie and, like, not... Like, go to a movie and not touch his phone. I'm not saying I'm any better. I'm 100% part of the problem. I'm mad at the problem, and I'm still 100% part of the problem. Anyways. Second screens.
Whatever. The plot of this movie is simple, but it is not told to you while it's happening. And it is not layered. There is not complexity to it, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Um, Especially if you compare it to its predecessor in Cars 2.
Eh,
I like that movie a lot more than America does.
eh.
Cars 2 was a film that tried to do too many things at the same time. It wanted to do a cool, grand international race. It also wanted to do a spy movie, and it didn't do either one really well. If it had tried to do one thing and just put all of its creative talent and effort into the one thing, probably would have been a fucking banger movie. But it didn't do that. So you end up with a missed opportunity. Now, this movie does not try to do two different things at the same time. It tries to do one thing, and that is repeat Cars 1, but less stakes and also like super predictable.
It does what I think a lot of nostalgia bait movies do, where it tries to add a little bit of new here and there, but really also just like repeats the same beats just to like hit that button of like, oh yeah, that's what happened with lightning, and oh, it starts the exact same as the first one. Like it's very much just this. It reminds me of like Jurassic World and things like that, where it's like we have to put enough in there that old school fans will appreciate it, but also that we can't do too much because then they're gonna hate it.
It reminds me of the new Star Wars trilogy,
Mm.
where the first of those movies was just A New Hope again.
It's another
And
nostalgia bait
that,
movie.
but that's like an extreme example where it's like, oh, we're doing like a lot of this one for one. And then Cars 1 and Cars 3 is like, there's elements from Cars 1 that are present in Cars 3, but Cruise's transition from coach to racer is only half the story. The other half of the story is Lightning learning limits and his transition being foisted upon him, but taking it with grace. Is relearning how to have grace, which is a big focal point of the first movie. So, like, this movie is not bad. This is a fine movie. The soundtrack's nothing interesting. The score is fine, but the where you're left wanting a little bit more is like I could have done with a little bit more runtime on races. I could have done with a little bit more Mater, to be honest. Um, Everyone else, like everything else about the movie, is like really just quite good. The script is good. The script is funny. Um, they had enough background and B-roll footage of Paul Newman from the first movie that they could do flashbacks to Doc Hudson and have it feel present, which is really good because he died like 7 or 8 years before the movie came out.
Like he died before the second one came out.
Yeah. So it, like, all in all, I think it's really quite a good movie. But like you can't come into it expecting an experience where there's layers of storytelling. There are not layers of storytelling. What is happening is happening. But you do have to pay attention to what's happening because they're not just going to tell you. They're going to show you.
I feel about Cars 2 the way I felt about Cars 1 originally, where it was like, it was good.
You feel about Cars what? About the way you felt about Cars 1?
Sorry, Cars 3, the way I feel about Cars 1. I said 2, but I meant 3. Is that it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to watch it again. And you know what? I didn't watch Cars again until
Child.
very recently because it's just not my favorite Pixar movie. I will say, after watching it, if need I repeat myself too much for like a billion times, you really start to appreciate like the finer details, which they go hard on the animation in Cars 1. I will say the animation for this one was about on par with Cars 1. Not, I think it still wasn't the best, but it was on par. It was better than 2, better than Cars on the Road. But yeah, you start to notice tiny little details like that. And I think Cars 3, at least for me, not being a huge fan of it, holds up just about the same. It's not as bad as some of the other Pixar sequels that we have had. Like Finding Dory. So, you know. Any other ending thoughts, James?
No.
All right, everybody. Any other fun Cars lore?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
In that case, next time will be Wicked, and we will watch that and get it out to you as soon as we are able. Bye. All right. Thanks for hanging tough with us, guys, through the tech problems and my bladder trying to explode. Yeah. And I'm gonna try to do some research and see if I can figure out something to fix it, or at least why it changed, as far as the internet goes. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, and we will see you guys hopefully soon, barring any illness or weirdness of any kind.